Happy Friday, friends. Matt with Eddie's Guitars coming to you, as always, from St. Louis, Missouri. We are thrilled to be with you today and anticipate enjoying some really incredible guitars with you folks today, starting with a very, very special guitar from my friend Mr. Gage Halland. This is Gage's DH model, sort of a take on a modified Dreadnought guitar for Gage. And I'll tell you, I've been completely blown away by getting to know this guitar, and just really an incredible, robust sound, and lots of harmonic overtones and dramatic tone out of this guitar. Really been a lot of fun to get to know this guitar. We were fortunate enough to be able to have Gage in our shop actually earlier this past week, coming off the tail end of the Artisan Guitar Show. He was able to come through St. Louis and leave us with a couple of very, very fine instruments that, like I said, we're just super excited about. First of which we'll be taking a look at, again, is this DH model. Absolutely filled with incredible details all the way around. Alejandro, if you don't mind, let's take a look at this beautiful guitar here. This is a Swiss moon spruce top that we're starting out with here, and you can see some just incredible medullary ray going all throughout the top of that guitar. Very dramatic looking top here. Really, really beautiful. Exactly what I like to see in your kind of classic European spruce here. Really just a fabulous silhouette and shape to this guitar as well. We have kind of a waist that has been shifted a little bit upward towards the neck of the guitar, making for a very ergonomically comfortable guitar. And that is only the beginning of the ergonomic considerations that have been made in this beautiful guitar, which we will touch on all of them here for sure. I want to take special note of this incredible complex rosette here, though, on the face of the guitar going around the sound hole. That is a Buckeye burl rosette that is purfled in a rather generous portion of blue Powashell there around the actual sound hole there. Incredible, incredible detail and just choice of wood, frankly, in that rosette. Really a beautiful detail. Around the perimeter of the body of the guitar, we have a full ebony binding theme on this guitar. And as I said, we have a number of kind of ergonomic considerations on this guitar, including the Laskin style forearm bevel here, making for a very, very comfortable, just kind of arm over the top of the guitar situation there. Back and sides of this guitar, I will show you here, are an incredible set of quarter sawn Cocobolo, a beautiful set of Cocobolo on this guitar. Quarter sawn all the way out to the edges there, really just an incredible example there. I also want to draw your attention to the incredible Laskin style rib rest here. That again just makes for a super, super comfortable playing position for this guitar. We also have the palm away right up here, sort of as opposed to a full cutaway that really is going to kind of dig into the body of the guitar. This palm away is a little bit more of a subtle situation, but certainly allows for higher access beyond the 14th fret here on the body of the guitar, which is really, really spectacular. We will take a look here, Alejandro, at the face of the headstock. We've got a very, very beautiful jet black ebony veneer with the Halland logo all the way up top there, done in mother of pearl. We have gold Godo 510 tuning machines with the black buttons on there with a nice ebony veneer on the back of the headstock. Of course, Honduran mahogany neck on this guitar as well. And, I got to be honest with you, I'm just getting to know the Halland guitars here, and I have been completely head over heels in love with a couple of guitars that Gage was able to leave with us here this past week. And just really a lot of drama in the tone and kind of character of his guitars. Long sustain, Great harmonic overtone presence out of these guitars, and just really makes for a lot of fun to play all on its own for just kind of a singular player, especially doing your sort of instrumental stuff that really kind of needs to stand on its own. This guitar really... Wow. Lots of depth in the tone of that. The Moon Spruce and Cocobolo, you can tell, is just providing a really rich tone out of this guitar. Very sweet tone. And I've got to say, just all the little tiny details, and if you want to see this stuff up close, I would urge you to take a look at our website to see these photos up close on this, but all of the little details of purfling and mitering that he does around the entire guitar is just absolutely extraordinary. Truly a testament to the attention to detail in his instruments here. So again, we are, this is our kind of first exposure to Gage Halland's guitars. We're blown away completely and very glad to have his instruments under our roof here. So,
hey Matt, what tuning do you have that guitar in right now?
This tuning is, let me think here. This would be like an open, this would be an open F tuning with a low C note, if that makes sense. So think open G, but then take the whole thing down a full step and then take this down, your low string, to a C note.
Handling those low tones really nicely with the extended scale length on the bottom string.
And thank you for reminding me, this guitar does have a multi-scale aspect here, sort of a fan fret design. On the low end here, we have a 26.25 inch scale length. On the shorter side, the treble side, we have a 25.5 inch scale length. Alejandro, thank you for pointing that out to me. I neglected to mention the sort of fan fret or multi-scale aspect of this guitar, which definitely captures those low, deep notes very well and allows them to kind of ring on seemingly forever. Really nice.
Gary was mentioning the amazing overtones and was curious if that's from the tone wood choices or the shape of the body.
You know, it's really, Gary, it's a combination of everything happening in that guitar. I mean, it's that guitar is clearly a very efficient machine in terms of projection and, you know, again, just creating those nice harmonic overtones and sustain that just really keeps on going. The tone woods most certainly are a contributing factor because moon spruce and cocobolo tend to be rather rich, very complex tone woods. Cocobolo has that nice density that allows for that nice sustain that kind of keeps on ringing for a long time. But we better not neglect all of the effort that was put into that in the voicing, the radiusing, the bracing, every other aspect aside from the raw wood itself. You better believe is a huge contribution to what that thing is providing as well. So, good question.
Yeah.
And folks, do say hi to Alejandro again. Let's pull Alejandro back up on the screen.
What's up, Guitar Geeks?
If it weren't for him, we wouldn't be here. So everybody, thank Alejandro.
Well, if it was just me, it would be me talking to a wall full of guitars and no one playing.
That's fine.
So.
We ought to get Alejandro to. We'll switch roles sometime. We'll have Alejandro play these, and I'll sit behind the computer and mess everything up.
I don't think either of us want that.
Folks, we've reached an incredible OMC from my good friend, Mr. Kieran McNally. And if you like sparkle, my friends, we have got a guitar for you right here. As I said, this is a sort of an OM cutaway custom that we've been able to put together with Mr. McNally there, and man, we have got some beautiful woods on this guitar. If we could take a look there, Alejandro. We're starting with a Sinker Redwood top on this guitar here, and talk about incredible, gorgeous character in a top. Really just a beautiful textured, kind of sandy looking top to this. We've got a beautiful abalone rosette that has a nice koa ring kind of going inside the actual shell there. And then the very, very inside edge of the sound hole is actually done in a nice ebony binding as well. So just a beautifully framed sound hole and rosette there on this guitar, especially considering the kind of darker redwood top on this guitar. The way that koa plays with it is really beautiful. The binding on the guitar, the body of the guitar, I should say, is also done in koa to match that rosette there. The back and sides of this guitar are a killer set of Cocobolo. It's been a little while since I've seen a nice set of Cocobolo with a nice little bit of sapwood going right down the center of the back there, but really just an extraordinarily beautiful back set on this guitar. Again, framed in koa all the way around. You can see that beautiful Florentine cutaway. One of the most weapon-like guitar shapes, if you ask me. Just an absolutely beautiful silhouette and shape to this guitar. I love that cutaway on Kieran's guitars there. Absolutely awesome. All the way up on the headstock, we will enjoy an ebony veneer with the McNally Mother of Pearl logo, with the, what are we calling that? The
sort of like a knot or something.
Yeah, Celtic knot. I'm sorry, I was spacing. Thanks, Sandra. Celtic knot right there in Mother of Pearl on the face of the headstock. We've got the Godot 510 tuning machines done in gold with ebony buttons on there. And I love how he pinstripes everything out between the headstock all the way down the fingerboard. We've got a nice frame on everything there. We've got the triquetra inlay done in Mother of Pearl at the 12th fret down here. Nice little Celtic touch there as well. But again, just incredible woodwork, incredible voicing work from Mr. McNally there. We are always very excited when we see that we have a new McNally guitar on its way to us. And I'll tell you, we've been spoiled by the guitars that he's been sending us, I will tell you. Just the voicing, the playability, and the downright beauty of his guitars is really something. We have not had a shortage of sustain here yet in today's live stream. It's to keep on ringing forever. A downright gorgeous voice on that McNally, folks. I'll tell you, holy cow.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
Matt, say hi to Jeff Jewett. He's watching as usual.
Mr. Jewett, how do you do, sir? Thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you. Do I have a guitar pick on me? Yes, I do.
Be a shame if you didn't.
And we've got a heck of an array today. Making myself choke here. I'm sorry, folks. Excuse me. Folks, we have reached a highly customized OM Grand from my good folks at Santa Cruz Guitar Company. Really a very incredible guitar here. Powerful guitar, as we've already heard, with some just beautiful domestic tone woods, which I really like to kind of see in such an exquisite guitar like this. Alejandro, if we could indulge ourselves here, we are starting with a master grade Sitka spruce top on this guitar, which you could see is exactly that, master grade indeed. Really a gorgeous, perfect top here. Nice medullary ray kind of silking there happening throughout the entire top. We have a rather traditional grained ivoroid binding. That's going to be on the body, the fingerboard, and the headstock of the guitar, along with that nice traditional herringbone purfling going around the top of the guitar. We also have the nice ivoroid rosette, again, super traditional for the, OM Grand model in general. We have a slight departure on the bridge shape here. Normally the OM Grand would have a belly bridge shape. We opted for the smaller pyramid bridge there, which you can see just in the context of this little bit larger than an OM guitar. Really looks great. Has almost a petite kind of a size and shape there within the little bit larger body there, but really a nice look just visually. Back and sides of this guitar are an incredible set of highly figured walnut. Really wonderful set here with incredible figure, nice zipper back strip going all the way down the center of the back there. Nice grained ivoroid heel cap as well. All the way up on the face of the headstock, you'll see a slotted headstock with a matching walnut veneer. We have that mother of pearl SCGC logo all the way up top there. We have the nickel Waverly slot head tuning machines with the grained ivoroid buttons tying in beautifully with all of the binding on the guitar here, really well coordinated. We have the standard ebony fingerboard with the short pattern diamond and square fingerboard inlays on this guitar. We have the standard 1 3/4 inch nut width, as well as the 2 1/4 spacing down here at that pyramid ebony bridge. And again, just a very full, robust sound of this guitar, whether you're going to play it doing some, rather robust rhythm playing, which we'll do a little bit here. Finger style, it absolutely shines as well. very in the pocket voice to this guitar, whether playing, you know, finger style or doing that nice big chunky rhythm. Just a very strong acoustic guitar tone. Awesome.
Can we see the pickguard close up real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a tortoiseshell pickguard. I'm going to get up close on the camera here, folks. So give me 1 second.
Nice.
Kind of a darker tortoiseshell pickguard on this guitar. Beautifully done. Alejandro, entertain the folks for 1 second. I got to grab a drink. I'm losing my voice.
No problem.
I just meant on the camera.
Huh?
Thank you.
No problem.
Sorry, folks, losing my voice here a little bit. We'll try to get through this together here.
Not gonna lie, that Santa Cruz made you look kind of tiny. Like, it just looks big in the camera.
Ooh, yeah. Folks, please help me welcome a beautiful, beautiful Bourgeois OMC custom. This is one that we were lucky enough to be able to work pretty closely with the folks at Bourgeois to have this beautiful guitar made, and it is exactly that. You can see a beautiful redwood top, sinker redwood top that we have started with on this guitar. Really a gorgeous example with a lot of visual depth to it. Really just another great example from Bourgeois guitars. The body, the neck, and the headstock of this guitar have all been bound in a beautiful, very, very curly koa binding all the way around. We have a rather simple top purfling of just black, maple black top purfling, very simple, as well as a rather simple rosette going around the sound hole here, making for just a clean, clean look to this guitar. Back and sides are a filthy, filthy, amazing set of Cocobolo. And if every set of Cocobolo could look just like this, I would be totally happy, totally satisfied, and I'd probably own a lot of Cocobolo guitars. But this is just exemplary of what highly figured Cocobolo should look like. Incredible spider webbing, incredible figure, beautiful amount of sapwood, literally everything that I could possibly want out of a Cocobolo guitar. We've got the DB signature back strip going down the center of the back as well, tying in perfectly with all the colors here. Nice koa heel cap as well. Again, perfect coordination all the way around. All the way up on the headstock, We can see a beautiful Ziricote veneer there, again, bound in koa. We've got the gold Waverly tuning machines with snakewood buttons there. Honduran mahogany neck, of course, and the fingerboard is completely unadorned by any inlays whatsoever, making for a very, very clean, rather modern in my taste, kind of presentation there. So really just a beautiful look all the way around. We have the standard 1 3/4 inch nut width, which with, of course, the standard modified V, very, very soft V profile to this neck, which also has the satin finish. We have the 2 5/16 spacing down here at the ebony belly bridge as well. So just beautiful, beautiful tone. And again, just an array of overtones and harmonic complexity. Beautiful sustain and nice kind of a little bit of extra snappiness up in the top end. Wowza. That's a fun one.
Gary's saying the Cocobolo body could almost be mistaken for Brazilian rosewood. Beautiful
I mean,
tone and sustain.
the marbling in just the visual aspect of it is really special in this set. Doesn't hurt when it looks good, I'll tell you that.
For sure. Very balanced. John Cable says if he had the money, tell you what he'd buy. That Bourgeois OMC custom.
You and me both, brother. You better believe it. Man, we've got all sorts of fun guitars on the wall today. Boy, oh boy. Yikes. Folks, I have rapidly gotten carried away by a Circle Strings Dreadnought that I have been completely blown away by since we've had it in the shop here. We've got some of the most exquisite tone woods that I've had the opportunity to play. I'm just going to leave it right there, and you can decipher that how you want. But we have got just an incredible example of lutherie here, as well as tone wood selection from, excuse me, from our friends at Circle String Guitars. And Alejandro, if we could take a look at this beautiful top here, you can see we've got an incredibly old German spruce top on this guitar. An incredible, just three-dimensional, beautiful look to this top here. Almost a toasty kind of a look to it, but really three-dimensional all the way through there, with some nice silking and medullary ray all the way through. Binding on this guitar all the way around is done in Brazilian rosewood, which is a pretty good sign. If you can afford to bind a guitar in Brazilian rosewood, you tend to know that there's some pretty cool tricks up the rest of the sleeves of the guitar. Folks, I'm going to step away from the microphones for just a moment so I can give you a close-up on the details of the rosette and a little bit of the purfling on this guitar, just so we can get real up close, because we've got some intensely beautiful stuff happening that I want to make sure we can totally capture here.
Matt, do you know what type of strings are on this one?
I can't swear to it, but I believe that they are D'Addario phosphor bronze strings. Don't quote me on that completely. We can check with Adam and make sure from Circle Strings. But folks, I hope that you saw a close-up of the detail of the beautiful, nice, just green and red, colorful purfling in the rosette of this guitar, as well as around the top. We also have kind of a double layer purfling of green purfling on the sides of the guitar, which just stand out beautifully from, yes indeed, the tree mahogany back and sides. This is one of the most spectacular sets that I've had the opportunity to actually even see in person, much less hold or play in person. But an incredible set of the tree mahogany here. I just love all of those green purfling details, though, just really beautifully done all throughout there. Even a bit of detail there on the heel cap of the guitar with the tree mahogany inlaid with the green purfling and a bit of inlay inside the tree done there. Really just incredible all the way around coordination. Up on the face of the headstock, we will see a tree headstock veneer with the beautiful Circle Strings logo all the way up top there. These are gold titanium Waverly tuning machines, very top end of the range for Waverly. Not ebony, but rather Brazilian rosewood fingerboard and bridge on this guitar, and we are talking super old growth Brazilian rosewood on the fingerboard and bridge. Very tight grain stuff, very dark Brazilian rosewood on this guitar to match the binding all throughout. Honduran mahogany neck. Of course, we have the 1 3/4 inch nut width, the beautiful C profile neck. We've got 2 5/16 spacing down here at the bridge as well. So just, I gotta be honest, one of the most magnificent dreads I've played in a long time. From a strumming standpoint, from a detailed fingerstyle standpoint, this guitar absolutely has the dynamic range to capture a little bit of everything. absolutely love the tree mahogany, and that's a good example of why there. Really good example.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Can
gonna
we
need that.
split it? We'll both buy it and share it.
Yeah, you can have it on weekends.
Thanks, man. How generous of you. That's really generous.
Ian Cummings was asking how does it stand up to the 5-foot test from back here, and it is phenomenal. Yeah. It projects, but it's really there's nothing that you could consider muddy about it. Like some dreadnoughts can be
Right.
loud, but a little bit muddy, maybe you could say, but not that.
Well, that I mean, I'm telling you that German spruce on that top is old, and it's dry, it's mature. I don't think anything dampening that top is present there. I think it's just really as lively as a top can be. When you pair that with a dreadnought shape that's lightly built with the tree back and sides, and throw a whole bunch of Brazilian rosewood at it, it's like, yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome, I think.
Yeah, and I haven't seen a set of the tree quite like that. Like the consistency from like row to row,
No
and then as
doubt.
it wraps around to the sides, it's like easily as consistent and like dramatic.
Yeah,
Wow.
we've been spoiled with some really luxurious tree guitars that we've had through our collection here. This, to me, sits at the very top of those guitars, I believe. So, completely blown away. Folks, we've reached the last guitar off the wall this afternoon, so you better believe it's going to be a pretty serious one, and in fact it is. This is a Froggy bottom H14 Deluxe with a German spruce top that we will enthusiastically take a look at right now. A beautiful, very, very tight German spruce top on this H14. You can see that beautiful Florentine cutaway, allowing plenty of access to the highest of frets there, beyond the 14th fret there, should you need to get into that real estate on the neck. We've got beautiful koa binding going around the body of the guitar here with a nice complex purfling on the top. We've got the nice Paua shell abalone rosette going around the sound hole there, and of course the signature kind of small little teardrop Froggy bottom pickguard, which is one of my very favorite pickguards should you need a pickguard on a guitar. I love that kind of petite little size and shape. Beautiful tortoiseshell pattern as well there. Back and sides of this guitar are an amazing set, another amazing set, I should say, of Cocobolo. We've had a few Cocobolo guitars on the wall today that have been absolutely extraordinary, this most certainly being one of them. You can see how quarter sawn this back set is from side to side all the way through, and I love the dark figure in the very center of the back there, of course being accentuated by that nice polished shell back strip going all the way down the center of the back. Of course, we have the koa heel cap tying in with all the binding of the guitar. Beautiful coordination once again. We also have a Cocobolo veneer on the face of the headstock. I love how they went to the trouble of matching the grain of the headstock, and I'm going to show you the back one more time, to the similar grain to the center of the back there, if you follow me. Really a similar look, and again, very, very coordinated from face to back there. Really beautiful. Nickel Waverly tuning machines here, kind of tying everything together. We have the standard 1 3/4 inch nut width. We have the standard Froggy bottom profile neck here as well, which is a nice kind of a slim C profile. We did up the standard spacing at the bridge, which is typically 2 3/16. We upped that to 2 5/16, which is very almost standard for us nowadays. Catering to the fingerstyle folks out there, of course, it's not going to deter you from flat picking on this guitar at all. But to have a little bit of extra space in there for your right hand to comfortably get your fingertips in there to play fingerstyle with. And just a majestic, truly signature Froggy bottom tone. Just a mature voice out of this guitar with lots of complexity. One of the things I love most about playing a Froggy bottom guitar, it's almost like you're playing a vintage guitar from the tonal aspect of it, but a highly engineered modern guitar from a playability standpoint. Just incredible playability. Incredible intonation. Just that sonic depth that absolutely does not want to quit. Well, folks, like I said, we've reached the end of the line. So if you've got any questions or concerns or comments.
We do have a few for you, Matt. Chad is curious about the future of Froggy Bottom, with the ownership, with the future of their production. Do you have any insight on that?
We're all still waiting to find out what the future is going to hold there. I can tell you that we are excitedly building probably some of the most exquisite guitars that we've ever had the opportunity to build with Froggy Bottom in this sunset announcement that they have made several months ago on their website. Along with that, they have opened their dealers, of course, Eddie's Guitars being one of them, to their most exclusive, most exquisite, most hands-off tone woods that were kind of personal collections, so to speak, from some of the folks at Froggy. So a lot of that wood is now free game, so to speak. So stay tuned to our Froggy Bottom inventory coming over the next several months here. We've got some really insanely special guitars in the works. Beyond that, we're all still waiting to see, like I said, what the future is going to hold for Froggy Bottom. I have to believe, just with their lineage, their quality, their story, everything involved with the name associated with Froggy Bottom guitars, I have to believe that they are going to continue on in a strong way. But like I said, we'll see exactly what that looks like moving forward. I wish I had more insight, or at least more insight that I could share with everyone. But like I said, we'll all see. So good question.
Given that this was basically a Cocobolo stream.
That wasn't even on purpose.
Unintentionally, yeah. Where'd it go? The weight of Cocobolo compared to rosewood, is it heavier?
When you say compared to rosewood, that can mean a lot of
different
different things, because if we're talking about the species of Dalbergia, which is considered rosewood, Cocobolo is rosewood. We need to, it'd be helpful to know what other type of rosewood are you referring to, but I can almost save us both time and tell you Cocobolo compared to Brazilian rosewood, Madagascar rosewood, Honduran rosewood, Amazon rosewood, many of the other rosewoods out there. Cocobolo will be usually heavier, denser. So it will tend to give you almost like just for the sake of comparison, I'm not saying it's the same stuff, almost like an African blackwood type of a drama in the tone, long sustained, big overtones, stuff like that. So good question, but in reality, Cocobolo is a rosewood by definition, a Mexican rosewood. So good question, though, and keep them coming. Thanks.
Did you mention the scale length on the Froggy Bottom?
This is a 25.25 inch scale length, so 25 and a quarter, which is standard for the H14. It's actually standard for a number of their guitars, not all of them, but a number of their guitars.
Cool. And Remo was curious if you would be willing to play the first guitar again. The Halland. Oh,
the Halland, sure. Let's put it in a tuning where I can play more than one song in it. And I hate to ruin everybody's party here, but and I didn't mention this earlier, but I will. This guitar is no longer for sale because it has already found its new home pretty rapidly here, which I'm not in any way, shape, or form surprised about. But I should just mention that.
Just make sure you put it in whatever tuning Freebird is in.
I can do that. Getting there, folks, I promise.
This is one of my favorite songs that you have. Marco was curious how the fan fret build takes a capo. Are there any drawbacks to capoing on the fan fret?
You know, I haven't physically capoed this guitar, to be perfectly honest with you, but I've not only capoed many other fan fret multi-scale guitars before, but I have seen many other folks out there. I think right off the top of my head, like Andy McKee, you know, he plays many, you know, fan fret multi-scale guitars built by Michael Greenfield. And I see him using capos all the time on his stuff, whether they be partial capos or full, you know, across all 6 strings. As long as you kind of follow the sort of the line of the fret there with the capo, you should be perfectly fine with doing that. And I've got to tell you, even with this, you know, longer than usual scale length for most regular acoustic guitars, the 26.25 on the low end here. One of the first questions that one of my customers asked me already was, do you feel the fan fret aspect of that when you're playing it? And the way I explained it to him was, if you kind of blindfolded yourself and just played your normal stuff, I don't think that you would run into any flubs, you know, based on it being a fan fret guitar that you wouldn't otherwise. It's really a very intuitive feel, just with chord shapes and everything, kind of how it follows the curvature of the neck there. And we're all the way down, I'm realizing as I say it now, we're down into a standard C tuning in this guitar right now with light gauge strings, and this thing absolutely is not having any problem whatsoever. Yeah.
Andrea was curious about scalloped saddles and nuts. Do they provide better separation and clarity? Any thought or experience on that?
No, I don't have any thought on that. I've got to tell you that I completely appreciate and frankly really, really just personally enjoy the aesthetics, especially of a scalloped nut. If they go to the trouble of doing a scalloped saddle, awesome. I haven't found any physical difference in obvious note separation. I'm not saying that I disagree with the physics of it at all, but I'm just saying my ears haven't picked up on any very obvious difference between, oh boy, I should have had this with a scallop nut. It sure would have made a difference in this guitar. I just don't think that that's quite a thing necessarily myself. But I sure appreciate the workmanship and certainly the aesthetic of a scalloped nut and even a scallop saddle. So I won't kick it out for no reason. Folks, as I said, we have reached the end of the line, and I just couldn't thank you all enough for joining us once again and spending your afternoon with us here, taking a look at some absolutely incredible guitars with us. This is one of the funnest parts of us being able to do this and being able to interact with you folks. So we truly appreciate it. We will be coming to you live again in the next couple of weeks or so with a fresh array of guitars on the wall behind me. So do stay tuned. We'll have a new live stream announcement coming out for you folks. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well. We would appreciate that. You will always get notifications when we do come live as well, which would be helpful for you if you'd like to follow us there. So do that if you would, and we'll plan to see you all next time.